The other thing that I did get from not only about Tyrique Stevenson, not only from Al Harris, but Dennis Allen, I should say, but also from Al Harris, is that Tyrique is coming in on a clean slate this season. I asked him, I was like, how do you coach a guy and keep him aggressive and kind of let him know where the line is? And they were like, listen, I don't know what Tyrique was in last year. I don't know what was going on in this building last year. I wasn't here. Both guys said this. And I think, like, side note here going into this topic, but, like, the coaching message is so in sync right now. I can only imagine this is what a championship coach feels like. I can only imagine.
Stars, bro.
Bro, I can only imagine. Like, I'm talking about everybody. Everyone you talk to sounds like you're talking to Ben Johnson about what the message is of this team.
That's good.
Cohesiveness
That's
good. Bro, we 3 weeks into this. Yeah, I mean, like from the players to the janitor looked me in the eye today and was like, "Hey, we're trying to win and win now." I was like, "I'm man, with the trash, brother, get that done."
Janitor, what's the message? Listen, I wasn't in this building last year.
I wasn't in this building last year.
How does he know
I make sure all the
that?
rooms is clean, so when they get in there and got to do what they got to do, they got to pay attention.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. I asked the chef. I was like, "What kind of meal you cooking?" He was like, "Listen, we're cooking a meal to win and win now." I was like, "All right, bro, okay."
You know
rated poorly.
I'm not gonna lie though. I love it because this is exactly what Ben Johnson talked about in his introductory press conference.
It feel a little militant.
Literally, it's going to start with the coaches. Then after it gets on the coaches, then after that that's gonna trickle down to the players. I believe in these next couple weeks. Hey, these interviews, these months, Caleb, the whole offense,
I'm telling you, bro.
They're in sync. They're in sync. And this is something that they locked right now.
Yeah, locked it. Who is that fat dude running the whole play? Who is that?
Pudge Jr.
That was a big boy running the whole play.
Third.
No, man, but the one thing that I did get from talking to Dennis Allen, from talking with Al Harris, is that Tyrique Stevenson is coming in on a clean slate, and that my favorite part was Al Harris going, I didn't get my hands on him.
Right.
And, I'm here now, and this is how we're going to do things differently. One thing that he said about coaching him, he said, I want Tyrique to live on the edge and play aggressive, and we're not going to take away Tyrique's physicality. I love that because I think a lot of people look at Tyrique and say, well, sometimes you're being too physical. Sometimes you're getting after it. Sometimes you got the after the whistle antics and different things like that to get in the wide receiver's head, and the flag is called on you, not on them, right? Like, those are the things where I do look with a little bit of concern, but I love that Tyrique is getting a new opportunity here because for some reason now, right, like guys like JC and there's a bunch of people out there, they're ready for Tyrique to go out the door. I'm like, the only time, listen, he's a number 2 DB. The only time he gets cooked is when he's up against number 1 wide receivers.
I like Tyrique.
It's just that one play, and
that one play turned into I see every single mistake you've ever made in your life. Yeah. Did you steal bubblegum at 3?
He did.
You cost us the game versus Washington. Yep. Send him to jail. Yeah. I'm telling you, bro.
I think it's so weird because I don't even think it had that much to do with the mistake, but just the weeks after.
Yeah.
With the continue losing, it was like,
it gets worse. Well, and listen, and you don't want to know what, and I like that this is a clean slate for Tyrique. Not to say Tyrique got scapegoated.
Yeah,
he effed up.
Yeah, no, he did.
There is no, he made the mistake a couple of times, right? He made the mistake. He effed up. He missed. It's on him. It's his fault. But Tyrique taking the ire of the fan base when Caleb Williams just came out and talked about how Fluce's response to that situation is what destroyed the season.
That was horrible.
And he didn't say it's what destroyed the season, but read between the lines, right? Fluce's response to that situation of, number 1, doubling down on, no, it was right call. No, why would I call a timeout right there? I don't need the timeout. We get those yards don't matter. Dan Quinn goes, we don't get that play without those yards. No, those yards don't matter. We asked Flus literally that next day. So Dan said they don't get that play without those yards. Hey, you got to be where your feet are. You know what I mean? You got to watch it, Crusher, Razor. And if you're not there, you don't know. Yeah, I mean, like it. the response to that situation, and I think here's the thing, and who was it? I want to say it was maybe it was Declan Doyle. No, it was Antoine Randall. It was Antoine Randall today. Who, by the way, listen, he's so happy to be home.
Hey man, hey,
You can feel it.
The shot is where it's at, bro.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
Like I was sitting in that room, I was like, I'm so glad he back home.
I just saw my mama.
I saw my mama twice a week. You know what I mean? Like I was like, he said, I see both
I see all my
grandmas.
cousins.
he was like, I can see my grandma
I
now.
love
I was like, all right.
But he talked about the accountability factor of it, and if you're going to hold somebody accountable, right, it has to be when you see something that is outside of your standard, address it. Flus didn't address none of that stuff. And he was like, and if you don't address it, then all the players in the room are going to look at you and go, oh, your standard is not real.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that not what we saw from that Washington game on?
Which, I mean, if we keep it a buck, once after they left training camp, they was like, yeah, that standard that they had, that's washed. That's washed. So
it was always weak, man.
Yeah, it basically was what it was. But I mean, even to his point, just to touch on the Antoine Randall press conference. He literally talked about. He was like, "Look, DJ's nice.
Rome.
Like yeah,
DJ
and Nice are Rome. DJ's really great. I need to get DJ ready for playoff football.
Yeah, he ain't never been there.
How do we do that? Oh, we got to do this and this.
Right.
And it was like a detailed plan. So it was like, whoa. We definitely never heard that before. So it's like
You got a plan?
you got a plan. It's like,
But that's what happens. You get what you pay for.
yeah,
In everything in life, you get what you pay for. If you pay for the cheap stuff, and what happens is when you pay for cheap,
Yeah.
you usually have to go back and pay
end up
twice as
spending
much.
more.
Hey.
You got to spend more to rip that mess out and put something back in there. They had to fire this guy in the middle of the season to get now. Of course, we still got to see
You
something
said
play out.
Flus is old tile?
Yeah, he's definitely some old time. He's that blue tub that you got to bust up and
Ah.
put the new one in there, man. He put that cheap mess in there. No.
Ah.
But my thing with Tyrique is that I've always liked Tyrique. I think he can now be a rabid dog. Just let him out the cage and just go crazy. They're gonna want him to do this stuff because the thing is, like, the way that Flus ran that squad, you know, he was a little bit more conservative. It was the same old. He was a vanilla version of Lovey in terms of just being a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think he got after players to a degree, but he wasn't ready for the prime time. And so someone like Tyrique, where the guys real recognizes real, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they know what they're going to get away with certain guys. So it's like, I'm not going to be intimidated. I'm not necessarily intimidated by this coach. You know, if I'm not going to get any real ramifications or anything's going to happen, you know, to me for any of my behavior, so to speak. And I'm not saying he's doing it to be whatever, but they allow him to keep doing stuff to a point. And so people are going to keep doing things as long as you let them.
Yeah.
So with Tyrique, I think he's going to have more respect for this defensive coaching staff in general.
He won't be here.
Because that's usually what happens. When you don't respect somebody, you're going to do whatever the heck you want to do.
Yeah.
Until you sit them down.
And it was like, and maybe I'm tripping on this. Maybe y'all can answer this question for me right quick. Because to me, it felt like last year, like when Tyrique had the whole debacle and everything, and then they go in the next week, they play the Patriots, they're getting their heads beaten, and Flus is like, wow, I looked at my guys, I was like, hey, we can come back? I love you.
No, that was the Cardinals. Next week was the Cardinals.
Yeah. No, that was the Cardinals. But it was like,
So bad.
okay,
He had no answers.
I'm getting killed on social media, but it's like my coach isn't defending me.
Well, listen,
either.
your coach shouldn't be defending you in that situation. You effed
I
up.
mean,
the thing that I think destroyed
not a defense, but
where the Bears were at was that you didn't hold Tyrique accountable for is that you told him you're not playing for a half of football, and
that's it.
That's it, right?
Yeah,
and
that's it.
I asked J-Mac this. I was like, does that hurt? Like, is it a pride thing where, you know, oh, I'm not starting for a half? And he was like, if you Ray Lewis and they bench you for a half, it hurts. Because
You're the face.
You're getting talked about on First Take. You're getting
Yeah.
talked about on Get Up. You're getting talked about on
Yeah.
every FS1. Every show is talking about Ray Lewis got benched. What's going on
He's
in
not a good
Baltimore?
leader. He's this. He's that.
The only conversation that came out of that was, wow, the Bears are bad, and Tyrique Stevenson made a bonehead play.
Right.
That was it.
They
And that was
just
the end
set
of
the
it. So
corner.
you benched him
Yeah.
for the half. It wasn't like First Take was like, you benched Tyrique Stevenson. Like, Stephen A. Smith didn't care about it.
Yeah.
Blasphemous to bench Tyrique Stevenson. Like, nobody
because he
nobody was talking about it except us here in Chicago.
No, they talked about it, but it was the fact of they said that's what he deserved. He got his
Yeah.
punishment and moved on.
Yeah.
It wasn't an uproar. It was just a straight, yeah, he deserved it.
Yeah.
Okay, move on.
But it doesn't excuse the fact that they went on a 10-game losing
Well,
streak?
no,
9 game?
the thing is, though, from that, now I know all that message that you've been sending us is BS.
Right. Well,
and
it
that
undermined
is
them,
what destroys
Yeah.
the coach's
Yeah.
grip on the team. And
Okay.
it looked like
'Cause
a
he didn't-
team that the coach lost the grip of,
Right.
right? Like before that, we rolling, we rock with Flus. Oh, man, he's figured it out. He's got a beard.
He
You know what I mean?
he got the
What a
chain.
fade. He get the number 2 on the side. Who knew? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
even the fans was like, listen,
New beard, same
bro,
coach.
right before that game, I literally was like, can you name me 10 better head coaches right now for what they're doing for their team and Matt Eberflus? We did this on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
They lost that game. After that, over.
But
I think that speaks to the coaching, though, right? Like
Yeah.
that speaks to the fact that you never really had a hold.
yeah,
You had their attention, or what is it? You had their curiosity.
I'm intrigued.
You never had their attention.
I'm intrigued.
You had their curiosity. That's all it was.
No,
And
I think he did have. I think he did have control of the locker room, but then he kept on having certain small things, the timeout issue, the not calling the right play issue, the not having the right
Yeah, but you gotta
stuff
think he
issue.
lost it.
You got to think though.
confidence.
For JJ, this been 3 years of him doing this.
Yeah,
I know, but that's why I say it was incremental things. It wasn't just this huge stuff. It was like little small things, and it all ended up to like, bam, he lost it at the end.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
too. Like, and I told Pat this when everybody was tripping over it, man. He got the beard, he got the chain. There's got to be something new. I was like, look, it's all well and good. He went to the GLD shop, got his chain,
Did go get a little chain.
got the beard right. Is he gonna come back with the same mistakes? That's the first thing I
Yep.
said.
It's not even that. No.
No.
Shane Waldron
That's
got him
what
fired.
that's exactly what it was. No,
No.
Shane got Shane fired.
No, Shane Waldron got him fired because they all thought that Caleb was ready to do something. If Caleb was it was ready to go week 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that was a struggle fest those first 3 games. It was still a struggle in the Washington game. Matter of fact, it was a struggle mostly except for what the Carolina game.
When we went overseas, we played
And
Carolina.
Jacksonville
We
was
played
like decent.
Jacksonville. When we played
lesser opponent. Now the Patriots was just
no,
a
we
crime.
lost to the Colts. Yeah,
Yeah, we lost. That's what I'm saying. That was the first 3
Yeah.
or 4 games. So no, the
we
fact
did lose to the Patriots, didn't we?
we lost terrible. To the
Yeah, we
Patriots.
did. I forgot.
I think
about
at home, right?
it. No, it was
That
in
was
New
in a
England.
row.
We was
It
on
was
the
in
road.
New England.
Nah, it was on the
I
road.
forgot. I blacked that game out of my brain.
So the point is that
I can't tell you a single play from that game, but I know it was
it
not
was
good.
bad. But I mean, the point is that he, as the head coach, his offense let him down. So now you're stuck in these bad situations of having to coach. So you were exposed for already being a not great coach anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if your offense was running, they could, Waldron would have got all the credit for half that. Or Eberflus could have been able to coast on that.
Yeah.
So, but his issue is that he was weak and then he got exposed from everything and wrote it behind him. What you gonna say, Drew?
No, I was just gonna kind of go piggyback on what you're saying. That says that coaching did impact the guy in his poor play, and for the coaches to give the new coaching staff to give him the opportunity to gain back all of that trust that he lost is huge.
Yeah.
So that is a boost for his confidence. So I'm actually looking at seeing a bounce back Pro Bowl caliber, even though you don't like the Pro Bowl, but it's Pro Bowl still
All pro.
is something.
All pro.
We like Pro Bowl. but-
Pro
yeah,
Bowl means you're still good. It's still good.
They're playing many
side note,
games.
name me one bad player that's been in the
Got
Pro
your
Bowl.
flag.
They're playing. They're playing.
Mr. Trubisky.
They're playing many.
Hey, he had a lot. It wasn't bad that year. He made it in.
He was a
wasn't bad.
replacement.
He wasn't horrible that year.
He was a replacement.
He was like the sixth replacement.
You're right.
But still,
Every other quarterback ahead of him was like, I'm in the playoffs.
what I'm talking about in the whole thing was that
No.
that he's going to be an all-pro guy. Fine, use your words. All-pro guy.
Why just hit him like Dan Orlovsky did with Shannon Sharp? Name me one dude that's been bad in the playoffs.
Your
Mr.
brother.
Trubisky. Your brother. Heavy dying with Dan did that.
And I see the light.
Name me a triple crown player that didn't get a Super Bowl ring in the year that he got the triple crown. Your brother.
Yeah, right.
Well, you know what?
What year was that?
There's validity. Like, I see the light of all pro versus Pro Bowl, because you could be the fourth or fifth, sixth person in line, but because the other guys don't go,
Fam,
now you're at a Pro Bowl.
Y'all know he was in a quarterback room in the Pro Bowl with Pat Mahomes, Deshaun Watson when he was still Deshaun, and Mitch.
Right. But he was the.
That's crazy.
But
He was the alternate guy.
No, but he was good enough.
Okay.
He also, if I'm not mistaken, is that the 2,800 yard season?
Okay, so let's say
it was bad.
first option Pro Bowl is still good. Can we agreement with that?
Which would make you all pro.
First option Pro Bowl, usually also an All Pro
first
player.
team or second team All Pro.
That's why I always say All Pro, because you're usually an All Pro player. Some people hanging some Pro Bowls.
But it's about all pro people that have not made the Pro Bowl, because it's the Hall of Famers that's ahead of you, and so you don't get it. You have great seasons.
But yeah, that's true. Yeah, because you can be a second team All Pro.
Right.
But
Which Jalen. Jalen got second team and then didn't get which is crazy. And then didn't get he did go to the Pro Bowl that year.
He went to
He
the
did
Pro
go
Bowl.
to the Pro
That's
Bowl.
what I say. First level Pro Bowl. We're saying let's use that as the caveat.
Yeah.
it reminds you of time.
Take a second team All Pro. I'm fine with that.
I think I was in 5th grade or 6th grade, and so we had it was the Junior Olympics, and so I had the third best time at my school. So the other two guys that were a lot better, they got in trouble. So they were like, what's the name? I think it was Brandon and Ethan they were on detention. So they're like, Holt, they called me down. Can you go to Junior Olympics? Call your parents. They're like, so I was like, Dad, they got me to go to Junior Olympics. I never really was on track at all.
Yeah.
I'm in jeans and British Knights shoes on the field. Hike, I'm on a relay. Go.
He don't even know what the word is.
Pow. We're in first place.
He running because he like, somebody shoot.
Dude, I'm in a long sleeve shirt, jeans, and regular gym shoes, because I was not prepared for this.
Nah.
And I was not supposed to be there. But the other guys had a much I was the third best. So I was a Pro Bowler, but not an All-Pro from my school.
Well, wait. Did you win?
No, I didn't win. I
Oh,
got third
darn
place.
it. Oh, you got third place there, too?
Kent Bullock came running like a Cadillac. Just long stride coming down, right around the bend. It's over at Rich South, man. And I was like, I couldn't breathe. It was fire coming out of my chest.
You was probably running loose bodied than a
Dude,
mud.
I was not prepared for that. I could run okay, but I had no shorts, no nothing. I was in jeans, regular gym shoes, and a long sleeve shirt running. So, the wind's just tearing me up, too. Yeah. So, I was a Pro Bowler, but not a All-Pro.
Not all pro. That memory destroyed you. That sees you
I
telling
never
me.
forget that, man. They threw me on the bus. I'm like, I'm going to the Junior Olympics.
You ain't asked nobody if they had shorts or nothing.
But I was gonna say at least some
Who had
shoes.
shorts? Nothing. It was
Well,
last
no,
minute.
y'all grew up in a different era than we did. So in the
This
era,
is middle school. Well, I was
Yeah.
in Mari Yates back in the day.
no,
so
but
this when you went
in
to
the
all the
in the
schools.
era we grew up in, you never left the house without shorts under your pants.
Yeah, no, we weren't
Because
at
you
that
never knew
point.
when a basketball game was gonna break out.
Yeah,
And I fully
Oh,
can
yeah.
tell you, there was one time where I was like, man, a basketball game will never break out. And I just wore regular pants, and I was so comfortable. I was like, oh, this is nice. Because you had to sag the pants a little bit for the shorts to not be uncomfortable. So I was like, oh, this is nice. I can move. I ain't got to sag my pants. I'm doing good. Goddamn basketball game breaks out. They got a 4 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Jeremy Richmond pulled up. Now I'm out there hooping in pants. and some regular. I didn't bring my basketball shoes. That I was like, a basketball game never randomly breaks out.
Us old people have hooped in slacks.
Oh no, I've hooped in a full suit. I got whooped.
Slacks and dress shoes.
I'm just saying, run a 400 in regular pants.
No, that's nuts. You're insane.
I was like,
you're insane.
I didn't know anything about any of that.
Yeah.
Because we ran and I had a decent time from regular gym, but it was like, we need somebody to fill in for Junior Olympics. You're the third one. You go. I was like, oh my.
That's villainous.
Yeah,
that's villainy.
Mr. Ryan.
That's
Mr.
villainy.
Ryan
right
set
there.
me up.
Hey man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, boy. You know his knees was burning, boy. That boy said
I couldn't
his
breathe.
pants was.
You talking about that heartburn earlier? That's how my lungs felt.
I feel great now. Shout out to you for the Tums. I'm getting old.